It's alright everyone, we can rebuild it. We have the technology, and many, many opinions. Hey guys, MasterCoX here. Now, Dragon Ball GT is a hotbed of a topic for fans of Dragon Ball across the world. And let me just say that the original English presentation of the show did not help. Now, most fans are quick to bash Dragon Ball GT because it's easy to do so, and Toriyama wasn't involved, and therefore it's not canon and open for ridicule. Let me just remind you that Toriyama was involved. He just wasn't involved that much. People were quick to judge in my last video that I hated GT. And let me just assure you, I think it has a lot of potential. There was a lot of potential squandered, but I think it can be easily solved. So for the purposes of today's video, I want to kind of go over ways that we can tweak GT a little bit, promote the good stuff, lessen the not so good stuff, cater to people that didn't like GT, and people that did. No internet beef here. You know I'm all about the internet bacon. And before you say anything that isn't saying that Dragon Ball Z or Super don't have problems of their own, they do. No show's perfect. It just so happens that GT's problems seem to be more vitriolic. Dragon Ball GT has a lot of great ideas and concepts, such as the evil dragons and the revenge of the Sufurijans. GT's overarching message could have been about consequence and atoning for past transgressions. In fact, if you wanted to actually have a tagline for the series, it could have been, "Be careful what you wish for." It'd be a perfect commentary on basically the monkey's paw analogy, as in, okay, you can have it, but you're gonna have to pay for it later. Before we get onto the not so good stuff about GT, let's talk about the positive things that I think should be easily kept in if we're going to be modifying stuff. First off, the animation. The animation is on point and solid. It's straight off the back of Dragon Ball Z, which preceded it, but it's also slightly refined. The colour palette is more vivid. It carries a different note to it. It's its own form, but it's also slightly familiar. Not to mention the designs are rather compelling. Particularly Super Saiyan 4. It's one of the most iconic things of Dragon Ball GT, and most of the fans of Dragon Ball actually seem to really like the form. They dig it. I especially dig it. I don't know why people seem to think I hate it. I like it. It's cool. It's also a striking statement of Saiyan power, and fortunately to the Toei executives, is marketable. If you wish to learn more about Super Saiyan 4, be sure to check out my video from a couple of weeks ago, where I actually go in depth about Super Saiyan 4. If we're on the discussion about transformations, I think Golden Ozaru deserves a place too. It's actually harking back to Vegeta's prophecy of the Super Saiyan form originally in the Namek saga, and there's a gold outline, so it's clear that the writers at Toei actually knew about the show. They took that idea and then made it into reality. Suffice to say, the look and feel of Dragon Ball GT is accurate to the original style, so it's a good foundation to build upon. Next up, the music. Granted, it's not quite as strong as the melodies of Kageyama Hironobu and Shunsuke Kikuchi, originally from Dragon Ball and Z, but Akihito Tokunaga and crew actually pumped out some very good background music, in particular Gogeta Super Saiyan 4's theme, which just, every time I hear it, it just fills me with awe and energy and inspiration. Also feelings of Christmas for some reason. Oh ho ho ho! Merry Christmas! Ho ho ho! Not only that, but the soundtrack uses the main theme of the show, Dan Dan Kokoro Hikare Teku, as a variation throughout all the different tunes for different emotions like sadness, happiness, tension. Using that technique for soundtracks is always a big win in my book. It actually just makes the soundtrack feel more original and unique instead of just being pasted together tunes from different artists that had nothing to do with the show. And that's not to say that the ending tracks aren't pure gold either. If you're a Dragon Ball fan, you owe it to yourself to at least give them a listen. I'll include links to some examples in the description. Both the Baby and Evil Dragon arcs are very much worth keeping. It ties back into what I said earlier about what GT's overall message could be. Be careful what you wish for. The evil dragons and Baby are the personifications of all the negative energy that have had anything to do with Saiyans or the Dragon Balls. It's basically negative energy coming to bite the heroes in the bum. It's an awesome idea. Everyone has to come to terms with their past and pay for whatever sins or greed or whatever ill-gotten gains they got from the Dragon Balls, or the ill-gotten gains and pillaging that they got from the Saiyans. I don't blame the Sufurijans, they were basically ransacked and destroyed by the Saiyans. It's only fair that they have just a little bit of beef with them. And that remaining beef is Baby, the Sufurijans' last stand. It's a chance to destroy the Saiyans once and for all. And really? That's a great idea for a villain. Both he and the evil dragons actually have legitimate reasons to fight Goku. They're not just a random villain that just so happened to go past Earth and go, "Ooh, that looks like a nice planet, I think I'll go and conquer it, lol." Lastly, the ending. It's a beautiful homage to Dragon Ball and respects its source material with grace and goodwill. It's clear that the writers did love Dragon Ball and they held it close to their hearts and they really wanted to make GT a perfect capping off of a hugely successful series. Over 10 years on television. That is great for any TV series, and this was meant to be the feather in the cap, but unfortunately, it didn't work out that way. Nevertheless, this final episode, and this sequence in particular, was just an elegant way to say goodbye. Shenron and Goku leaving Earth forever and taking the Dragon Balls with them. See Earth, this is why you can't have nice things. However, there are some things from GT that really need to be fixed. I'm not saying that they're wrong, I'm saying that they could be tweaked, or replaced, or modified. Instead of just going hacksaw at it like most people want me to do, I'm actually going to look through these things and talk about it. First off, the whole thing with Goku changing into a kid and going off into space with Pan and Trunks. It's one of the most crucial eras of GT. Now you might be thinking, oh well, this is a chance for Goku to come back as a kid and relive the old days of Dragon Ball, yuck yuck. But you're forgetting. You may think that he's a kid again, but his brain's still from an adult. He's just in a child's body, that just makes it kind of weird. It's not the same Goku as it was from the original Dragon Ball. In fact, why is Pilaf actually even here? Because didn't Shenron at the end of Z just basically wish back the good people of Earth, not the bad people? So what I'd suggest is that the wish made on the Black Star Balls be changed. Instead, Pilaf, or whoever it could be if Pilaf's not involved, could wish for Goku to be either incapacitated or killed, because the Black Star Dragon had the power to kill people. With Goku out of the picture, Trunks, Pan, and thankfully Goten could then go off into space and quickly find the Dragon Balls all across the universe. Also, get Goku out of the picture for a little while. They could always just wish him back with the Namekian Dragon Balls. The Super 17 arc should have been cut or severely modified. It was meant to be a little mini arc between the Baby Saga and the Evil Dragon Saga, about 7 episodes long, but it just feels like pure fan service and has no place in GT. It's also full of plot holes. In particular, the whole idea of going to hell and actually still having your body. I thought that in the other world you only got to keep your body if you went to heaven. What are all these bad guys doing with their bodies? To be fair, Z did do this in a filler arc with Cell and Frieza causing trouble. So it's happened before. So instead of that stupid Hellfire 17 thing, I would actually suggest that using Android 17 that was still alive at the time and Android 18. Now hear me out here. So what I propose is that Android 17 and 18 have an electronic failsafe installed deep inside their brains. This could have been installed by Dr. Giro while he was actually making them in the first place. What this would essentially do is act as an overclocking mechanism. It would essentially boost their power levels exponentially, reset their consciousness, and restore their primary mission to kill Goku. Granted, this would reduce their operational lifespan drastically, but it would also increase their power levels dramatically. Not only would this be an actual good callback to Dragon Ball Z with the Android saga, but it would also be an emotional conflict. These guys have to fight 18, someone that they've called a friend and close ally for years and years and years. Now she's gone bad again. Gohan and Bulma would have to work out a way to actually switch her off or incapacitate her or turn off the overclock so she could survive. If not, they might just have to kill her. Or if you don't like that idea, you can just skip on straight to the Evil Dragon arc, whatever floats your boat. Give the side characters time to shine, either by allowing Goten and Trunks to actually use their fusion technique to form Gotenks, Pan becoming Super Saiyan after basically seeing her grandpa go insane and become a giant golden monkey, Gohan and Bulma working together to use their combined intelligence to actually thwart an enemy without actually having to use your fists, and Vegeta could have not had that moustache/hairdo, which is impossible due to Saiyan genetics. Not the moustache, the hair bit. The other Z fighters like Tien, Yamcha, and Krillin could have really made much more of an impact. I just felt that they were underutilized, with Tien and Yamcha only turning up about halfway through the series? That's a little short shrift. And speaking of short shrift, Piccolo could have made more of an impact than he actually did. As far as I can tell, he was the one that discovered Baby on Earth, and then after that he kind of just disappeared, only to reappear to sacrifice himself for the sake of the Earth. Yeah, I kinda get it. It's a noble sacrifice for Piccolo to make, and it does rid the world of the Black Star Dragon Balls forever if he chooses to stay in Hell, but I kind of feel that it's not something that a character of Piccolo's stature in the series deserves. Oh yeah, we forgot that Piccolo existed. He did this thing. Okay, now what? Let's just put him in hell and he fights bad guys. What I suggest they could have done is that Piccolo could have actually gone to warn the others about Baby, and they could have made sure that they weren't infected. So that could have reduced Baby's zombie army quite considerably. Next, the Black Star Ball saga should have been shorter. It lasts for about 16 episodes, but it felt so dreary and dull considering all the diverse and interesting character designs that were used. The personalities didn't work either. In the end, it just led to a very clunky and bloated saga. So what I'd suggest is to make the arc 12 episodes long instead of 16, make the enemy stronger, particularly Legic and General Rildo, so that Goten, Trunks and Pan actually have a fight on their hands, and it's another chance for Goten and Trunks to form Gotenks, and to give them a bit more urgency because, you know, planet blowing up. Also, could have been a way of Goten to actually grow up and mature instead of just being a playboy. And lastly, elaborate on why the Dragon Radar nor King Kai could remember or locate the Black Star Dragon Balls before now. They could have used anything. They could have used the fact that King Kai might have forgotten about them. They could have been on a completely different energy frequency, so as such the Dragon Radar couldn't locate them. Perhaps the Dragon Radar's only able to actually find the Dragon Balls that it knows about, and it has to really hone in on that frequency to get a really accurate reading. Either way, more explanation needs to be made for this important oversight in Dragon Ball GT. So yeah, these are just a selection of the ways that I think Dragon Ball GT could have been improved. And I thank you all for watching. I appreciate your time here, and I hope that you enjoyed it. So what do you guys think? Is there a way to make Dragon Ball GT much more palatable to Dragon Ball fans? Leave a comment below, and we'd love to get this discussion going. But anyway, that's it for today's video. Tune in next time for another Dragon Ball discussion video. So until then, be sure to like and subscribe. Until next time, guys. Catch you later.